So in Jesus Christ Superstar, Judas asked, "Why'd you come in such a backward time in such a strange land?" Let's talk about that. Hey guys, it's John sitting here in the studio having a fabulous morning with a fabulous cup of John's Show coffee. Thank you very much. I love drinking coffee again. I wanted to hop on and answer a question. I put out a comment on the community page the other day asking for video topics. And Tina asked, when Jesus was here on earth, why was he here during the particular time frame and area of the world? Was it a more receptive time and space for his message to be spread out into the world from then and there? Thank you, Tina, for the question. It's actually a great question. But it is a question that I want to kind of tap into. Because this question itself is trying to understand why it's not happening now, or it's a question itself that's trying to give reason for why he came then and there. But the reality of it was Yeshua was just a man. He was just a man who awakened into his own divinity. He found something within himself. This concept that he came here at a specific time and place because it was more receptive is actually a New Age ideology. It's not something that was in any way, shape, or form ever discussed until probably, definitely not until the 1960s, 70s, 80s. This is the idea that he chose to come at this particular time and place and all this stuff. He was a man, just like I'm a man, or he was a human, just like you're a human. And when he found this divinity within him, he just started sharing his divinity. The reason I talk about that, because everything that I have from memory of Jeshua himself was the simplicity of things. And the idea that he chose a specific time and place because it was more receptive or whatever, that is far too complex for his teachings. That is far too complex for his teachings. His teachings is be love. If I were to boil everything down to what his teachings are, it's be love. Be love in the here now. Be love. The reality of it is the concept of linear time and the concept of this energetic space is more receptive than some other energetic space. Makes no sense with what he believed. He believed in the oneness of God, which means there's no special time or space that's anywhere else. But the time itself, the concept of time, is a construct of man. We are living a world, an experience here. We're living an experience here, period. But it wasn't until, probably two farmers in a field said, hey, the sun crossed the sky, let's call that a day. Hey, it's straight up, let's call that noon. Hey, it's halfway between when it was straight up and was straight, so it's halfway over there, so let's call that the afternoon. Let's call that the morning. And, so you just go bing, 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 and it breaks it down till we have these increments of time.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com.
The concept of time is one of the most detrimental ideologies that I've ever seen, because people start to worry about, I don't have enough time here. I don't have enough, life is so short, and they start to go by this linear time rather than just being in the present moment and loving and caring. Jeshua's teachings were very much from a man who found that oneness with God and found that he could create in this oneness with God. But it wasn't about time. It was about, being love one another, be kind, And so the idea that he was someone who was on a special mission or here because of a specific time or region, is just somewhere he would never have gone or even thought about. And so when I look at this, in Jesus Christ Superstar, Judas says, "Why did you choose such a backward time in such a strange land?" That's just where he was. Why did Buddha choose to go there? Why did Krishna choose to be there? They didn't choose. They just became enlightened. They just came to that space and realized who they were. And I think there's people on this earth right now who are probably extremely enlightened. There are people on this earth right now who have found that divinity within themselves. I know that there are things in my life that seem miraculous, but to me, they're not miraculous. They're just the understanding that I am one with God and that, I am the pinpoint of creation, just like Joshua was. But, he came to a place of understanding we can just love one another, be in the world and just love one another. So I guess my answer really is this, that he didn't choose a time or a place in the world. He just awakened. I don't even like the word awakened. He just became more aware of his greater self. I don't like the word awakened because it implies that we're living a life of sleep. And that's like going back to that whole matrix theory that I think is so disempowering. You're in a matrix, you wake up. Even I just saw another video yesterday where another big YouTuber who I just did a video on recently put out another video about how you've been trapped and they want to keep you trapped. You're not. All the power is always within you. That's the teachings of Jeshua. All the power is always within you. And it's a matter of stepping up to that power and creating a life we love, creating a world that we love, and bringing the kingdom of heaven to earth, bringing that love here. And so when I look at did he choose this time and place to come? No. There was nothing special about that time or place. It was just a man who became aware, and that's just happened to be where he was. And he asked you to become aware where you are. And that's really my whole thought on the whole thing. I hope that answers your question, Tina. And you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.